Hey y'all! The Blue Jackets play their first game of the season tomorrow, so I figured I'd pull together a quick off-season recap. So, this summer, the Blue Jackets lost Wild Bill and our heart and soul David Clarkson to the Vegas expansion. We traded Saad and Forsberg to the Blackhawks for Panarin and Mott. Mott was not what we were really looking for and is currently in Cleveland with the Monsters. Panarin, on the other hand, has been just as great as we hoped. We've had a small slew of injuries, Dubinsky in his wrist, Nudavara in his hip, and Jenner in his back. Dubinsky and Nudavara needed surgery. Jenner, we just found out the details of and is a day-to-day. We signed Alexander Wenberg to 6 years at $4.9 million per. And we did not trade for Matt Duchene, unfortunately. In general, we were pretty quiet during this offseason, besides the shocking Saad and Panarin trade on draft day. Very few of our draft picks this year even made it past camp, and none of them are currently on the Blue Jackets roster. But I'm counting the preseason as part of our offseason, so here we go. To start, our record was 4-3-1. The first games we lost may have sparked some panic in the fandoms, but those 3 losses and the overtime loss in St. Louis were not NHL rosters. Maybe Foligno or Wenberg or Owinski were playing, but a splatter of veterans and a bunch of kids does not an NHL roster make, unless you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, apparently. Korpisalo got off to a worrying start, but he really pulled it together, especially during the Blackhawks home game. The Dubois hype train has taken off, even after worries that he would yet again not be ready for the NHL. In a similar vein, after 3 years of developing, Sonny Milano has been looking fantastic all preseason, and Tortorella has even said that he'll be playing top 6 minutes in the opener. Most of our regulars from last year have also looked great, besides Nudavara, who just finished recovering from hip surgery and has been sent down to the Monsters for the time being, but not too worried about that. Dubinsky is back on the ice and as good and as gritty as ever. The first game our tentative NHL roster played was Nashville on September 28th. We won that game in a shootout where the winning save was made off of, ironically, Ryan Johansson. The second win was a shootout for Bob in Pittsburgh, which was against, to my knowledge, the Penguins' regular roster. The line dubbed as the Paw Patrol, Panarin, Atkinson, and Wenberg, has some serious chemistry, and if they can learn to just shoot the puck instead of doing these beautiful passes back and forth for all of eternity, which I'm sure is something that Tortorella has yelled at them about multiple times already, then they could be a real danger on the ice. Dubois is on the wing right now, which is a little bit weird because we really needed and wanted him to center, but Foligno doesn't look too bad at his native position. Now, if only there was another center we could have, possibly from a Western Conference team that finished worse than the NHL last year. If only. Anyway, another thing the Jackets did before the season started, at the very last moment, was sign Josh Anderson. After over 2 weeks of contract impasse, Josh Anderson has signed a 3-year contract at 1.8 per, which will really help the Jackets out when they're juggling re-signing several contracts at once at the end of next season. Currently, Josh has been loaned to the Cleveland Monsters to train, but he and Tortorella have both said that there are no hard feelings after this. Not that that calms Jackets fans' fears about a revenge trade after what happened with Joey, but then again, if we had to get rid of Andy in order to get more Jones caliber talent, I think we'd survive it. As it stands, the roster has 12 forwards, 7 D-men, and 2 tendies. The projected opening night lineup from the Blue Jackets website has our starting line as Breadman on the left, Wenberg in the center, and Cam on the right, with Werenski and Jones as left and right D respectively, and Bob in goal, obviously. Foligno's probably going to stay in center until Dubois is comfortable and ready, or until we get a center from somewhere. I think Anderson will knock either Hannikainen or Dalfe out of the lineup when he's done with his penance and is allowed to play again. Probably Hannikainen because his preseason performance was a bit sloppy, but in general, I think we're looking pretty good. Obviously, there are things that we could change or tune up, and no team is perfect, but I really think we have a chance to do really well this year. Knock on wood. Optimism. It's nice, isn't it? Thank you so much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you loved it. I'm Lydia. This is Cannon Fire, and I cannot wait for the season to start again.